going to be super very adventurous and choosing this card deck for today's daily oracle card reading. The Fairy Pack. Hey, me here Regina, and welcome to another daily oracle card reading. Got my cards, and let's see what fairies say today. Just to show you, I'm actually shuffling them. This. The Fairy of the Three Cauldrons. I am not very familiar with this card deck, so I'm just gonna get straight to the magical book that will give us the answer to what the message of Fairy of the Three Cauldrons. So, the lesson of this card is this: when you give, have no thought of receiving in return, and gifts will come to you. Your life will be divinely balanced. The Three Cauldrons hold gifts that will free you from bondage if you will embrace their wisdom by developing your intuition or heart attunement. One thought that I want to add to this, when I read, when you give, have no thought of receiving in return, and gifts will come to you. When we give, there is always a balance. There's always a balance. But when it comes to giving, I always say it's important to remember that when we give something, whether it is a physical object, whether it is something physical, or it is our time, our energy, it's always going to come back to us, but it's not going to always necessarily come back to us from the person we are giving to. It's not necessarily always about expecting something back from the same people or same person that we are giving something to. Things do have a way of coming back to us when we give, but it also might not happen right away. So just thought it's important to mention with this message about giving and receiving. Gifts will come to you. They do come. We never know how exactly they are going to come, but eventually, sooner or later, maybe when we will need them the most, they are gonna come, but we won't know when exactly we will need them most. Like, we can't necessarily really know it in advance. But that should not stop us from giving, is my point, I think. Like, one of the points. So, let's get more into the meaning of this card. So, interpretation of the card. The Fairy of Three Cauldrons comes to us to sound a note of balance in our lives. She is attuned to the Buddhist principle of the middle way. She knows that the balancing point of the physical universe is the human heart, and that forces light and darkness that meet there must be balanced by our consciousness to create a happy, harmonious world. This fairy points to our physical vitality, our emotional responses, needs and desires, and the expression of our exalted self. When these three are all working together, the tree of life brings forth fruit. When the link is weak and intercepted by energy blocks and disturbances, the tree withers. Your efforts to balance your life are applauded and encouraged. So it seems like balance is the main message of this card. It did talk at the beginning about the giving and not expecting anything in return. But it seems like this card, the message of this card is about balance altogether, and this could be one of those times to reevaluate situations in our lives, our daily routine, maybe some relationships. Like, one thing is, yes, to give and remember that what comes back, and when something will come back to us, that it might not necessarily be from that exact person that we gave to. However, the other aspect of it is something that's also important to keep in mind, that if we do have somebody in our lives who just takes, maybe that person is not necessarily the best person to have in our lives. When somebody really needs help, it's important, like it somehow inspires us to help this person. There's just some kind of chemistry in the air. There's like certain energy in the air when someone truly needs help, and we are meant to help this person. It inspires us to give this person whatever it is we can give, also depending whatever it is this person needs. But if there is somebody who's just always taking, when we hear someone asking and just asking for something all the time, that doesn't give that inspiration feeling. It just drains us. Eventually it drains us, and we're not happy to see this person, and it's out of balance. This relationship is then clearly out of balance. And what I'm trying to say with this is there is a difference between giving, giving somebody something, for example, not expecting anything back, versus giving someone who is just always asking for something, and we just continuously just give this person something without this person adding anything to our life. Like, if they do add in some different way, that's different. But like I said, the difference between giving someone who really needs and someone we are meant to give, and giving when someone just asks to give. In one case, the idea is that we feel inspired to give, and the other is we feel drained from giving. And it's for each person to weigh out, like, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel inspired to give, or do you prefer to feel drained because of giving? And then take action accordingly. And yeah, so that's all I got to say about this card. And the message here will show you once again. Thank you for watching. Any comments, comment below. If you enjoyed, found this video helpful, found the message of the card helpful, like, and subscribe for any future videos, and I will see you next time.